Okay, we're live. Today we are doing a removal on Tate's eyelashes. She got a M curl set a couple weeks ago and they're looking a little bit sparse, and she said she was actually kind of feeling like a bit of discomfort just because she was experiencing some twisting and she was just ready to do a removal and get a full new set. So we're just going to be doing a removal on this side because later on I'll be doing a video on this side. So we'll just be keeping the focus over here, but I'll be showing you my entire process and how I like to do lash removals. So first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have all of your supplies. So I'm using iPads today, and I actually don't have any of our regular iPads, so I'll be using black ones. We have black iPads, and these are used for blonde clients. Not that it matters today, but they're nice to have on hand. So I'm going to use that, and I'm actually going to be using tape as well. So we've done like a tutorial on lash removals where you do the sandwich technique. That's where you apply the iPads down and then you put the remover on top and then the iPads over top as well. But I'll be doing tape over top instead because I just want to see what happens. I think maybe it'll kind of work a little bit better. I don't know. It's just kind of an experiment. So I'm going to try that today. So I got my iPads and I'm just going to lay them down. So I'm just going to get Tate to look up. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free. I can kind of see my screen, so I'll try and check it frequently. Okay, close. Does that feel comfortable?
Yeah, it feels good.
Okay. So now I'm going to be using my Lost Artistry remover. I'm going to be placing it on here because I don't want to be dipping my micro swabs in and out of the product to avoid cross-contamination. So I'm going to just place it down on this. It's clean and sanitized, so it's good to go. And I'm just gonna place a good amount. I don't wanna place too much down on here because I don't wanna waste any product. So I'm just gonna apply what I think will be enough.
Well, you guys, also too, the reason why Anna didn't cleanse me is because I cleansed my eyes like 14 times before this because I had a lot of like mascara, which is totally a no-no, but like I had mascara, eyeliner, all that stuff, and it was gonna take her so long to do it. So while she was setting up, I just cleansed my own lashes, but she took a look at them and they look squeaky.
This one's squeaky.
This one's dark. This one I didn't even touch.
The other one's got some mascara on it. So I have about that much. And again, I'm going to be using micro swabs to apply this. And I'm going to be using 2. So I'm going to, hopefully you can kind of see that. There we go. So I'm just going to dip my micro swab in the remover, and I'm going to focus on the base, making sure I don't touch the skin. We don't want to irritate her at all. So we want to focus on the base because that's where the extension is applied. And I'm just going to pack on the remover. And I'm just kind of working it upwards a little bit. It's fine if you totally like saturate the lashes as well as the tips. You just want to, again, make sure you're avoiding the skin as much as possible. And if Tate feels any sort of irritation, she knows to let me know. You can make sure to let your clients know that it's important they keep their eyes closed because if this gets in the eye, it will burn. It will not feel good. And I just kind of like to work it in, making sure I get every single lash. Tate, how many removals have you gotten?
Quite a few. I've always been Caitlin's kind of guinea pig. She'll do a crazy wild set on me and then she'll remove it in a really crazy way, which is fun. So I would say maybe a good 5 to 10 times, roughly.
Yeah, that's a good amount. And have you always kind of had like a good experience? Like you never got the remover in the eye or anything like that?
No, it's always been super good. I feel like because every time I get a removal done, Caitlin's so precise and strategic with it, and she's just not a sloppy person, and she really, the nice thing about our remover too is because it's the cream, it's not as liquidy, so it's easier to control. So the chances of getting a cream remover in your eye are very, very, very slim, as opposed to a liquid where you're runny, goopy. That's a little bit more of a risk. But
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. When I first started lashing, I had to do a removal on a girl who I hadn't lashed before, and in my kit, I got this like kind of like a gel remover. It was very liquidy, and I actually got it in her eye somehow, and her eyes were closed. It just literally like leaked into her eye, and it was so discomforting. I had to like take her to the bathroom, and she had to like rinse it all off for like a good couple minutes, and oh yeah, I just felt terrible. But that's the thing about cream removers, is they're way less likely to get into your client's eyes. Another thing you can kind of keep in mind is making sure that their chin isn't tilted too much back, because we again don't want that to like run into their eyes. So Tate's like pretty, like her head is pretty like in the middle. It's not too far back, it's not too far forward. So, and again, we're using a cream remover, so I'm not worried about it getting in her eyes. And once you have applied all of your remover, you can do whatever you feel is best. However, today I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be doing the tape instead. I can't remember who I saw do this. I saw it on Instagram.
Someone on Insta?
Yeah, I saw a video on Instagram of a girl like putting tape on top, and I was like, ooh, I want to try that.
I've seen some girls do plastic wrap.
Oh, I've seen
Have you seen that?
too. Yeah.
And I guess the whole concept is, as long as it can like, it almost like holds in the fumes so that the fumes concentrate more on releasing the bond. Yeah, really interesting. I've seen a couple really cool techniques. But my favorite, I mean, this could be a sick one, but my favorite's the pads, the sandwich.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, this is basically, I think, the same. I think with like the pads, like I don't know if I just didn't leave it long enough, but like I've only tried it like once or twice. And when I pulled it off, like I guess you really have to like squeeze down on the pads to make sure you get all the lashes off. So it's like, oh, like I want to try the tape and see if it really holds them down. So we are all applied. So now all we have to do is wait a few minutes and then watch it do its magic.
Should we put a timer for 10 minutes on maybe Cade's phone or Tommy's?
Yeah. Oh,
thank you.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thanks, Tommy.
Do you guys have any questions? Let's see. I'm not exactly sure how to read. Last time they were kind of like popping up.
Yeah, sometimes they'll pop up, but I think if you I don't know, maybe there's just no comments.
Yeah, sometimes I remember last time they were kind of popping up, and then they like disappeared.
Sometimes if you press the screen and like swipe around on the screen, kind of, sometimes I think the ones at the top, because they will pop on and disappear.
Okay, cool. Well, if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna keep an eye on my phone. But yeah, we're just gonna let this sit. Do you have any like funny stories to tell, Tate?
Oh my gosh, you guys, when Caitlin had done my lashes, this isn't a removal story, but when Caitlin had done my lashes one time, because this just goes to show how important it is to make sure that your clients and you are like relaxed, and if they're jittery, and to keep like a more quiet environment, because Caitlin and I chat and we like, you know, have conversations, laugh, get excited, like, and my eyes start to go like do this, and she doesn't realize, because we're both like in the moment and chatting, that my eyes naturally sit slightly open. So Caitlin had given me like a 2nd-degree chemical burn on my sclera.
Oh my gosh, no.
And so afterwards I was like, oh my god, my eyes are really hurting, and she had thought, oh, it's probably just glue fumes, but it was like straight up a chemical burn on my eyeball.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
it took 4 days to heal, but my whole eye was like bloodshot red. And when situations like that happen, you just have to do an eye wash and go to the sink and wash out with water. But yeah, it was so, we made like a bunch of videos about it, and it's kind of like double-edged sword because, like, yeah, on one end I'm like, oh, I really got hurt, but the other end I'm like, well, at least we got content.
Yeah.
So
The same thing happened to me, not as bad, like not to the same extent, but when Caitlin was doing my lashes last time, she was like, oh, your eye is like wide open, which was weird because I felt like it was closed.
ours do the same thing.
Yeah, we do the same thing. And I did have like a little bit of like irritation, but yeah, I just like rinsed it really well and it seemed to really help. And it just kind of like got rid of all the irritation I felt like on my eyeball. So, but it wasn't as bad as yours because I saw those photos and
Those are so crazy. Would you ever get those lashes that are like, you know, those Instagram lashes right now that are going around that are really, really, really long, that are huge and giant? They look like wings.
no, like just like mega volume or like
I think they're mega volume, but you know what ones I'm talking about?
I think I do actually. Like they're like 25 millimeters. And
Yes.
they're, like, really spiky. Yeah, I've seen those.
Oh my gosh.
I personally wouldn't get that, and I don't know. I just feel like
Some people they suit though. Like
Yeah.
I've seen girls on Instagram post work like that, and I'm like, damn, that actually looks good AF on that person. But like for me, I'm like, oh my god, I could never do it.
yeah. I mean, I feel like you really like stepped outside of your comfort zone with like the M curl for sure.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that was, but it suited you really well.
Speaking of M curl, I feel like a lot of people when I posted on TikTok the M curl lashes, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you had that wrong. That's L curl. That's L curl." Different brands categorize curls differently. Like specifically, our M curl is a very straight edge. It does look like a cookie cutter L shape, but our L curl has a slightly softer of a curl, but still in an L shape. Which I know, like other brands, which I've seen, theirs is kind of like opposite. So yes, that is our M curl, but to another brand, it could be their L.
Yeah, I've seen like many different L curls on
Variations,
the
yeah.
on the market. And I've even seen like L plus, which kind of
Whoa.
yeah, it's basically like our standard L curl, but like a little bit more lifted.
Oh, cool.
I guess kind of more like our L or our M curl actually. But yeah, I feel like that would be kind of cool to try.
Yeah. Oh, Anna, I was gonna ask. So I wanted to book for the YouTube who's listening. It's so weird talking to the camera, but like not being able to see. Anna is gonna do my lashes, I think, next week.
Okay.
We have to pick a night for that, and we
Yeah.
gotta pick a style. What do you guys think? Because like, okay, for example, anyone in the comments, I like something that's a little bit more natural, and I like more of a doll eye. If you guys have suggestions for mappings or anything, DM us on Instagram or something.
Or we should do like that, or we should do like a poll. Where,
Yeah.
like, our followers pick your lash set.
That'd be sick. I would
Yeah.
be down for that.
And we maybe should have like a couple different ones. Like
Yeah,
not
we
just
can
two.
do. Let's do that on Instagram
Okay,
tomorrow.
let's do it. That'd be
We'll
really
do like
fun.
a poll. We still have to pick a night too. We'll talk about it later, but
Okay, sounds good.
But yeah, super super fun. So yeah, again, if you have any suggestions for mappings for my eyes, if you also want to know my eye shape, I have a couple of videos on YouTube, and go take a look at my face and then DM us.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, you're definitely gonna need some new lashes after this.
Yeah, dude, and it's gonna be funny with like one eye bare naked and then the other eye.
Yeah. I wonder how we're looking. Tommy, what are we at for timing?
Yeah, 4 minutes left.
Oh,
Cool.
okay, so we're like halfway. So maybe I won't disturb it too much. Do these pads still feel okay?
Feels good.
Again, it's always like good to check on your client to make sure that the pads aren't running up into their eyes. Even if you're just doing a removal, it can still kind of like push up a little bit, especially because I know Tate is actually wearing a little bit of face makeup today. And when your client is wearing face makeup or even like creams or oils, sunscreen, anything like that, the pads can slip around a little bit more.
Yeah, oh my gosh, what I'm wearing on my face is a tinted sunscreen and it is so greasy and slippy. I'm like really surprised that
Yeah.
it's not slipping around.
Every morning you put your sunscreen on.
Yes,
What kind
of
of sunscreen
course.
though?
It's the it's a Drunk Elephant sunscreen. It's like the
Ooh.
tinted Umbra Physical Protect. I really like it.
Are you like careful like with your lashes when you apply like that?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
do you
oh
even,
my
like,
gosh,
kind of
I
around
like
your eyes?
I straight up won't even go close to my eyeballs with my sunscreen. I'll like do right underneath, I guess, the socket of my eye and around. I won't go anywhere past my eyebrow bone. Yeah, I'm like super careful with that because oh my gosh, the greasy sunscreen would just like slip those lashes right off.
Yeah, totally. I feel like I never have like the greatest retention, but like I feel like maybe it's because I put on so much cream before bed and I sleep on my side.
True.
So that could very well be part of the issue. Even though I like put it like around my eyes, I still feel like, when it's getting on the pillow and then you're moving around.
Yeah, and you're smudging your own oils in your pillow and like gravity too. If you have moisturizer up here, like the chances of it kind of trickling down and making its way to your eyelid.
Yeah.
I also have really greasy eyelids in general too.
Tate actually filmed a video today about like why your retention could be kind of not so great.
Yeah.
And she kind of went over all the reasons for retention issues. And yeah, you talk a little bit about that too, right? Like if you're a little bit oily, sometimes like clients who are a bit more oily, their lashes just won't last very great. Like even if they're cleansing and stuff,
there's so many, 100%. And there's so many things that a lot of people don't take into consideration. I won't give the whole video away because we'll probably post it in the next week. But for example, like if you think about if you're exposing yourself to hot things like heat, oven, your curling iron, your blow dryer, like those are all things that can have your lashes not lasting as long as you want them to. But but anyways, do we have any questions on the YouTube?
Oh, I think so. I just swiped up. Did you guys ever suffer from the sweaty hands and a light hand in the beginning? If so, how do you get better? Or sorry, I'm just gonna read this one more time. Did you guys ever suffer from sweaty hands? Oh, okay.
Like nervous hands, like sweaty palms?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I totally did. And actually, sometimes I still do kind of get sweaty hands. Yeah, like at the beginning, I felt like that was happening just because I was so nervous, which you may be experiencing as well. A good thing to do is to honestly just have like some paper towel on hand or like a cloth and just kind of like wipe your hands, or even maybe like hand sanitizer too, because that kind of dries out your hands a little bit. So you could definitely try that.
I feel like there's no, like, honestly, I hate to say it, but I feel like there's no remedy. It's just you got to work with it and you got to do all the things that you can to, I guess, like, aid it along the way. Like what Anna said, paper towel, even like the blankets that we have down under my head. We wash them, and if you have to wipe your hands on the side of the blanket, like, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, totally.
There's no shame in it too.
Yeah, just having like anything that you find that works. But yeah, like I find that sometimes I still kind of have like sweaty hands. Like literally, like the last lash set that I did, my tweezers were kind of like slipping down my my hands, and I was like, oh my gosh, like my hands are so like ooh. But yeah, I mean, like after a little while it just like totally went away. Like it wasn't like that for the whole service, so I didn't really let it bother me too much. But
yeah,
that's a great question to ask, because I've never actually like talked about that, but it's a thing. There's a lot of things that like happen with lash artists that I feel like aren't much of a conversation because we just go through it in the beginning stages or just randomly, but it's something that kind of like comes and goes.
Totally.
There's a lot that you can go over for sure.
Was that a timer, Tommy? Yeah. Bless.
Oh, someone said hi.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for joining. If you guys have any more questions, let us know before we jump into the next step of our removal.
Our timer just went off, you guys.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, Tommy, the timer went off.
Woo. Okay, let's see how we're looking. Ooh, okay, wait. Maybe I can pull you in closer.
I'm like kind of nervous. Okay, I'll tell you guys my fears right now of the tape. Okay? I'm nervous if the cream remover wasn't on long enough, which I know it is. This is just me being irrational. Wasn't on long enough. I'm nervous that the tape will cling on to my lashes and pull.
Oh, are you scared?
A little bit.
I'm nervous that the lashes aren't going to come off with it.
Honestly, I've had my eyeballs burnt by chemicals, so I bring it on, girl. Did it work?
We only removed a couple. Maybe we didn't leave it on long enough.
Oh no.
Wait, hold on. Let's see if we need to remove to take it off long enough. Or what am I saying?
Leave it
That's
on
not
longer.
even English. Let's see if we need to leave it on longer. So sometimes when I'm doing a removal, some lashes need to be left longer than others, and a good way to kind of check that is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to take 2 little like dofa applicators, and I'm just going to gently pull, not pull, but like just glide up, and I can see that they're not budging. So these guys are attached really well, so they might need to be left a little bit longer. Oh, one's coming off. Yeah, sometimes like remover needs to sit for like 10 minutes, sometimes it's 20. It really depends. I've spent a long time on removals before, especially like on lashes that weren't applied properly, where they were all stuck together, and I've had to leave remover on for like half an hour. It can be pretty crazy, but we don't have a lot on right now, so I think
I was gonna say that's why sometimes the sandwich technique is so good, because I think when the pads are sandwiched, it like locks in heat and it helps the chemical reaction of like loosening the bond so well.
Have you ever like gotten your hair bleached and they put you under like the dryer thing to like keep the heat in?
It feels like you're burning.
How do your eyes feel right now?
Good.
Okay, so I still have my little tray here, so I'm going to apply a little bit more. And I think we'll leave that on for maybe just a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna check on it. And making sure I'm really focusing on the base. If you guys hear talking, that's Maddie. She works customer service here. Okay. Do you think I should try the iPad thing now? Maybe because the tape didn't work, or do you think I should go back in with the tape?
Maybe try the pad.
Let's try the pad. Let's just see. Maybe the tape didn't work. Maybe it was just not left long enough. But let's try the pad and just see.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll trap the heat in more.
That's what I'm thinking too.
So I'm just gonna apply it real close. Or maybe I just needed to apply like more tape.
Yeah, maybe you just had to apply a couple more strips or something. Honestly, like if you're in a pinch and like say for example, if like I was in a rush and Anna was in a rush and something didn't work, honestly like the pads are a fallback. Like if you need them gone quick with the remover, the pads.
Yeah. Okay, looks like we have another comment.
Sweet.
What are some tips to get the most consistent iPad placement? Is there something that helped you? Sorry, is it disappearing? Is there something that helped you cover the bottom lashes more comfortably? Oh, that's a really good question. So when applying iPads, the thing about iPads, let me grab another one to kind of give you
A visual.
Okay, so these are our iPads, and here is like the curvature of it. Now, sometimes everyone has different eye shapes. So sometimes when you're applying an iPad, it doesn't sit comfortably on the client. So with Tate, when I apply it like this, I can see that maybe this middle part would go into her eye. Maybe I'll tilt you just a little bit more so they can see.
Sure.
So if I were to apply this iPad, maybe this part would touch the middle of her eye. So a couple tricks you can do to make sure that it doesn't touch is you can apply the iPad down, not getting the bottom lashes under it. You can just apply it on the skin and then get tape and then tape down the actual lashes themselves. And that also kind of tapes the iPad in place. So that's a really good hack that you could try. Or another thing, if you wanted to try actually cutting the iPad, so you can cut like maybe the middle area like this with scissors, and then that will fit her eye more comfortably, which I actually have done that before to try it. But a quick, easy solution would be to use just tape and apply the iPads a little bit further away from the lash line, and then get the tape closer to the lash line, make sure all those lashes are down. One thing that Caitlin likes to do is she likes to remove the iPads throughout her service just to make sure.
And adjust them.
Yeah, she adjusts them throughout her service, and she'll kind of like move them around and make sure that the bottom lashes are always sticking down. But yeah, I would try the tape thing. Hopefully this answered your question.
Also, always ask your clients to be looking up when you're placing your pads as well too, or looking in certain directions. That really helps. And then also communication, because it may all look fine and dandy, but something could be itching, bugging, scratching. And so as long as you're talking to your clients, and then it comes with time, like practice makes perfect. I bet, Anna, when you were first applying iPads, you were like,
Oh yeah.
and now you just like slap them on me and they
Yeah.
feel good.
It took me so long to apply iPads in the beginning, like, and it was always wrong, uncomfortable. Like, my mom was my model so many times, and she was like, whenever you apply the iPads, like, it's never comfortable. And I'm like, oh, well, definitely tell me if it's not comfortable, even though I like barely knew how to fix it at the time. But I was like, oh, tell me. And yeah, if your client ever says that they feel poking, all you need to do is just wiggle the iPad down. But before that, I usually use my bladeless fan to give them some air, just in case that kind of lifts their lid open, because we don't want them to be exposed to any glue fumes. So I would take my fan, give them a quick dry, and then I would just wiggle that pad down a little bit. And a great way to check that as well is to use your inspection mirror to make sure that all those little lashes are covered. So you can just kind of take a look and make sure that they're all covered still, even though you wiggled the pad down. Thanks for all your questions, everyone. Do you start with the inners and the outers? So it really depends on the lash set that I'm doing. If I'm doing a really tricky set where my client has very curly lashes or they sway from one side to another, I like to focus on the inner and outers first, because those are usually like the trickiest areas to lash. I find that sometimes when I leave the inner corners last, then I'm like rushing to get them in, and you never want to rush those areas of the set, because they really, I feel like they're the most important. Like, if your inner corners are kind of like, you know, in different directions and stuff, it's kind of noticeable. So I like to spend as much time as I can on those areas.
And irritating.
Yeah, exactly.
For the client.
So I just really like to focus on those areas. So sometimes, yeah, I will do inners and outers first for tricky lashes. And sometimes I like to layer first too. Like, if someone has a lot of layers, then I like to do like top and bottom first, and then do the middle last. That's something that I also really like to do when working on like clients that have a lot of lashes or tougher lashes to work with. Okay, let's check on these lashes. I'm just gonna kind of see. So I'm just kind of like pinching down, because I want to make sure that I'm grabbing the lashes.
This also does not hurt me, you guys. Doesn't hurt.
Oh, some are coming off.
Got a little
Do you feel any pulling?
bit on the last one, but I think it loosened up.
You see? So if you have come off. Do you feel like any irritation at all?
No, not on my, just the,
Just a little bit of pulling?
just a little bit of, like, yeah, like a little twisty on the one. But also, too, before, like, the reason why I asked Anna to remove my lashes today was because they were so grown out that they were already giving me a little bit of irritation. So it's not the remover of the pad. It's just, like, the fact that they've just been twisting for a couple days because they're so ready
Grown
to go.
out, yeah. Okay, so the sandwich technique for me was, it worked a little bit. I honestly probably could have left it a little bit longer, but I'm seeing that these lashes are ready to come off. So I'm just taking my, my dofa applicators, and I'm just kind of gently working the product in the base and lifting, and they're removing. So if there's any like leftover lashes after doing like the sandwich technique or anything like that, you can just do this, and usually they'll just kind of remove and come off. So you can see like a few are coming off, and I have my little tray beside me that I'm just putting them on. So these ones are just needing a little bit more work, so I'm just gonna keep kind of sandwiching my two dofas together, my dofa applicators. And usually this will just kind of lift it, but sometimes it takes like a little bit of time. These ones just don't want to go.
Would you do a banana peel after that? Like,
Yeah.
what would be your, like,
So if you had like
next step?
if you had like one lash that was like really stubborn and it just wasn't removing, it's honestly quicker just to take your tweezers and just kind of remove them by hand. Like if you've been working for a while and you're like just noticing that they just won't come off, then yeah, you could literally just take your tweezers and take them off. You just want to make sure that you have your eye pads down and that you're doing it like the safe way like that. I wouldn't go in right now and start doing that because I wouldn't want to like accidentally poke her. I'm gonna try and like remove a couple more with my dofa applicators, and then if there's like one or two left, then I'll probably just go in with my tweezers and just manually remove them. I've heard of some lash artists needing to manually remove a full set of lashes because the person who, like the client who got them done like by someone who like gave them a reaction or something, so their entire eyeball was like swollen, so they couldn't even like get the remover close to the base. So they had to like, I just like read this in like a lash group and I was like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't imagine manually removing all of those lashes.
That would take just as long as the set.
Exactly. Well, for the most part, we got like all of your lashes off. I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I'll probably just remove those guys after because it'll just take a lot less time.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next step, which I'm really excited to talk about because this is something that I learned recently. So now that she has gotten most of her lashes removed, she still has a lot of remover left on her eyes. So what I used to do was, because there's obviously remover on her eyes, I would go in with a lash bath and rinse. However, because there's so much excess remover on her lashes, it caused like a bit of a chemical reaction with the water once or with the lash bath, either the water or the lash bath, and it actually like turned my client's lashes white. So and I was like, why is that happening? Like my client has white lashes, like what do I do? And then I think I asked Caitlin and she told me, she was like, you need to make sure all of the excess remover is gone. So to do that, I'm taking 2 brand new dofa applicators and I'm just kind of like taking off all of the remover like this. And then I'm going to use my glue wipe just to make sure that it's all gone, or like gone for the most part. And then you can go ahead and do your lash bath. I want to know if anyone here has done a removal and the lashes turned white, because I know I'm not the only one. Like this must have happened to somebody else. But yeah, I had no idea what to do. And thankfully now I know you just need to remove all of the excess remover. And do your eyes still feel comfortable, Tate?
Yeah, they feel good.
So a few lashes are still kind of like popping off, so we only have like a couple left on here now.
This is also so important for people who are doing a removal and then a full set. Like you need to make sure all of the remover and the cleanser off the lashes, or they will literally call you in an hour and be like, girl, I'm coming back in.
Yeah.
My lashes are gone.
Exactly. Yeah, so in that case, I like to do like a really good couple lash baths.
Yeah.
It's never like, I feel like it's not a bad idea to even suggest to your client, like, if they'd be okay to come back the next day instead, because then they can go home. Like, I mean, obviously, like, you would have done the lash bath and everything, so there wouldn't be like any remover there, but just in case, just to be sure, like, you know, they would go home, like, still wash their face and everything, and then just come back the next day and their lashes will like be perfectly good to go for a new set. If you want to like play it really safe, you could do that.
Sorry, I just yawned, you guys. Anna's not boring. It's when your eyes are shut, you want to
Anna's
go to
not
bed.
boring.
She's not boring.
Thanks, Tate.
Of course, queen.
Okay, so I'm gonna take my glue wipe and I'm just going to gently, I'm gonna fold it in half actually. And I'm just going to wipe away any excess remover. So we've gone in and I've removed a good amount with my applicators. I just want to make sure. So I'm just going to wipe really good before we jump into the lash bath. You really want to make sure like you focus on the base, of course, because that's where most of the remover is. And does this feel comfortable?
It feels good. Before you go into lash bath, are there any YouTube comments?
Let's see. Do you guys have any questions? Nope, not so far. But yeah, let us know if you have any questions. It doesn't have to be like just about lash removals. It can be anything. Okay. You got 2 little lashes. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my Scentsy bath.
Ooh, do you need that bottle filled, the water bottle filled up? Actually, I think it's probably good.
I think there are a few that are filled up here. I'll have to.
Do you have a towel?
Yes.
Bless.
I got you covered.
Bless.
Okay, so I'm going with my Scentsy bath and my fine bristled cleansing brush. Do you guys want to see something kind of funny? Look what happened to it. Tate actually just posted a video on her Instagram earlier about that, so go check it out.
If you guys want to know how to avoid that happening to your brushes, there's an Instagram video that I made.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
check it out.
Check it
it's
out.
pretty funny. I got my little towel here to catch any lash bath if it drips down. I'm just gonna really work that in to make sure we get all the remover off. And I like to use Scentsy bath because it's super gentle. Got my little water bottle. Just gonna tell you this might be a little bit cold though, because is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Actually feels good.
I did forget to fill it, but I know it was filled from before.
It actually feels good.
Okay, so we're gonna go back in with our Scentsy bath. We're just going to go ham. I'm still occasionally checking if you guys have any questions, so feel free to ask. Another thing I like to do is I like to kind of lift the eyelid just a little bit, because sometimes our clients have like a bit of a fold. Like, I mean, everyone has like,
I have a little bit of a fold.
Yeah, me too. Like just like a little bit extra skin. So I like to lift it just slightly, making sure that I'm not actually opening her eyes. And this allows me to get like better access to the base of her lashes. Because that's, you know, if we were doing like a full set of lashes, like application, then that's where we would be applying the extensions, like really close to the base. So we want to make sure that is squeaky clean. So yeah, if you ever find that like you do a full lash bath on your client and you prime and everything and you're still having not so great retention, it could just be the fact that like maybe you didn't get too close to the base, because that's where we're applying the extensions. So you just want to really focus in that area the most. So I feel like that should be good, but I really just want to make sure. So I'm just gonna go in one more time with just a small pump, just so I don't burn your eyes. So just one more time, just to make sure.
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry, and that's the truth.
Because we packed on a lot of remover.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are gonna see like the before on this side, like, and then the after on this side. Coming in with that ice cold water.
Ooh, treated.
Look at all Tate's makeup. All right. And you don't have any white lashes. Yay.
Yay.
That was the scariest thing when that happened to me. I was like, why is this person's lashes white? How do your eyes feel?
Good so far.
You don't feel stinging or anything?
I feel okay, actually. I don't know why I'm keeping this one
Yeah,
closed.
like...
Yeah, they feel good.
That's good.
Do you know what I find so funny? Whoa, you guys, this is a before and after. Look!
Oh. Oops. I don't know what I'm doing. I swiped up by accident.
Like, maybe I might just leave. It might just go away.
Okay,
it'll
well,
just go
they
away.
can still see.
You guys, that's my before. This is like mascara, eyeliner, crusty. And this is the after. Just a few little baby
There.
lashes that still have the banana peel. But yeah.
I think we have one more question. Do you prefer working with flat lashes or classic lashes? So I like flats for certain reasons. If I'm working on a client that doesn't have a lot of lashes and they want classics, flats are a great option, and they actually weigh 40% less weight than classics. So you can actually get a darker, more fuller result with almost half the weight. So I think they're amazing for that. But I honestly do like working with classics too, because I love how natural and pretty they look. But you can also mix flats with with volume and mega volume. You can use them for like spikes, just like you could with classics. I think yeah, it just really like depends on like, you know, what kind of client you want to put them on. But either way, they'll look really, really nice. But yeah, anyways, so here is the final result. Thank you guys for watching me remove Tate's lashes.
Thank you guys for staring at me for 45 minutes.
We'll definitely film the next set that we do together, and we'll probably put a poll on Instagram of what kind of set we should do on her. So
yeah,
we should do that today.
We should. Look at my little cat eye.
Your little cat eye.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Again, like, I know we just saw 2 new people hop on, but we're going to post this to our YouTube feed so you can watch it.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.